Welcome again to the MIT App Inventor lessons. This is the second recorded one I have, which you should be doing. Obviously is I think our third lesson because we did the one in person before. Obviously you're going to be in MIT App Inventor. This is the player versus sound one we had, and it gave me an idea for a different thing we could do. So we're going to make a new project now. We're going to start this new project. And we're going to call this one effects panel, or sound effects panel. Sound effects panel. And we're going to say OK. So this is going to bring up a new one. In this one, we are going to, again, explore some of the cool things about the player versus the sound as a way of doing things. So we already know, let's go to media, and we're going to pull over a player and drop it there, player one. So that's the player. We're going to use that as the thing to activate a bunch of sounds because we're going to make a sound effects panel. Now, go to layout. We're going to put in a horizontal table arrangement. So let's grab that and drag it over here. Now, I haven't used table arrangement recently, so it's going to take me a little bit to figure out. But I do know that I want my height to fill the parent and my width to fill the parent. So just do that on both of these. So it takes up this whole space. Columns and rows. So let's go 2 columns seems good, but let's go to 4 rows. No, 3 rows. That'd be 6 sounds. Oh, let's go 4 rows. It'd be 8 sounds. Okay, let's do that. And then let's go back to the user interface, and let's take a button and drop it in there. And then another button and drop it in. Wait, that didn't work. Try again. Another button, drop it in there. Okay. Should be able to put a button there, button there. There we go. I'm getting it in there now. It's working out. The numbers are kind of weird. They're 1 to 5. So let's just rename them real quick so that we can make them make sense. They'll be in a sequence that makes sense to me. So we're going to rename. Well, no, button 1's okay. Let's just. But maybe we should. Let's rename it this. Let's rename it sound 1. Okay, and say OK. And then take the one next to it here, that guy, and rename it sound 2. Okay. And then let's take this one below there. That's rename that one as sound 3. And you get it. I'm going to actually pause while I get all that. Okay, so what I did here was real quickly, I renamed them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I did add 2 more buttons, which you'll need to pull over and give them the right names. I think I can sort these here. Let me see. Can I move this one up? Can I click and drag? I don't see any way to move them around. So over here, they're kind of in a random order, but over here they make sense. This is, we click that, you can see that one, sound 1. Click that, and that jumps down here to sound 2. Sound 1, sound 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what they say. Over here, I'm going to eventually give them names that make sense. But for now, what I do want to do is make this one at least have the number 1. And this one, put in the text 2. Just to make sure that, it all kind of makes sense now, that we don't have stuff that's confusing us. I'm going to change all these numbers. Again, I'm going to pause it while I make those changes, and you can go in and just make them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I've renumbered them 1 through 8, and you can notice now that some things are a little bit irritating here. Because I haven't done anything with the sizing or the centering of things, it kind of crushed them all down to the same size next to each other. So what I think I'm going to do next is I'm going to take each of these sounds, and I'm going to make their height be a percentage. And in this case, let's see, let's make them each 20% tall of the available space, and make their width 40% of the available space, like that. And you'll go through and set each of those like that, and that'll kind of fill the screen up a little bit. In addition to that, under your table arrangement, height and width, never mind, it was not under table arrangement. I take that back. Yeah, so just take each of these buttons that you've got in here, now that they make sense, click on it over here, and then change its height and its width. One of the reasons I didn't go to 50 and 50 for the width is that sometimes the width on my phone and the width on the screen aren't exactly alike, but it looks like it did a pretty good job this time. It looks like it's the same thing. Anyway, so I got 8 buttons here. Whoop-de-doo. I'm going to need 8 sounds. So again, this is one I'm going to send you away to do some work and come back. But I'm going to upload 8 sounds to this. So I'm going to go into my instance. Let's see, where's the home here? Where's my instance home? I think I clicked that. It takes me home. I'm just going to play around and find 8 fun sounds. I can tell you some sounds that I think are kind of fun to have. One that goes wah, wah, like that. One that goes ding, like, hey, you got it right. One that's like crickets, crick, 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 crick. That can be a fun one. I like the lightsaber sound. That thing, you know, like the lightsaber turning on. There are a bunch of silly SpongeBob sounds in here that can be fun. So just think about sound effects that might be fun to have to play around with. I know the reason that I got the wah wah and the ding ding and the crickets is that I could turn it on during class. And when I'm asking questions to the class and somebody gets it wrong, I'll click wah wah, or if they get it right, I'll do the ding. Anyway, so go there, find 8 sounds, download them, then go into AppInventor and upload them all into your media. Again, I'll pause and let you go do that and come back. So it takes a while to get these installed in. Once they're in, though, what we're going to do is instead of applying a sound to each button here, in the blocks, what we're going to do is we're going to change which file is associated with the player for each of these. And then when you hit the button, it changes which file it is and then initiates it playing. So that gives us the option to do that. And I'll go move on to that right now. So let's go over to the blocks. Let's get the back end programmed here. So what we're going to do is when you click sound 1, when it gets clicked, I'm going to put this one right here. I'm going to have it first go to player 1, and it's going to set player 1 source here like this. And let's change this one here. If you click the down arrow, you see you get all of the various sound files show up here. And let's make that one be crickets, right? So that one will be the crickets button. I can actually go back to my designer now, and I click on this sound 1 button here, and I can put the text in it to say crickets, ... And so now it will tell me what that button is. I can duplicate this, bring it over here, and all I have to do is change this to sound 2, and then change the source of my player to be, I don't know, the sad trombone. Now, right now, these won't do anything because I just realized I forgot one other thing. Go into player here, and then you want to player 1, pause, start. Player 1, start. That's it right here. So you put this here. Let me duplicate that real quick. Drag it over to here like this. Okay, so now when I duplicate those. So now buttons 1 and 2 should work. Again, 1 plays crickets, 2 plays sad trombone. And you can write them all out to do this. So I'm going to encourage you to take the time and do that. I'm going to pause again. I'm going to come back with it fully written. We're going to play around with it for a minute, and then I'm going to show you a better way to do these things. Because while there is, when sound 1, when sound 2, all of that, there's a way of doing something down here under any component. And under any component, what we find is, oops, I need to scroll. Under any component, you can have any button. And what it does is when any button is clicked, it detects that a button is clicked, and it says which button it is. So we can tie these bits of information together and write a much cleaner bit of code to do the same thing. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to do it the hard way, and then I'm going to come back and show you a much cleaner way of coding it. So I'm back. I also went in and renamed these guys here to match what they're playing here. And I put the text in here to kind of match what they're playing. Then over in the blocks, I just kept duplicating and changing which button it is and which sound it plays, the two associated together. These make up pairs, which I'll talk about more in a little bit. And so this is the clumsy way of coding this. Now, Again, I get it. This is simple. And there are times that when you're coding, you want to do simple because somebody just looks at it and they know exactly how it works. It might be even better if I came over here and arranged, this just goes crickets, wah-wah, correct, and Darth Vader. If I actually did crickets here and wah-wah here and then correct and then maybe not put fart here but put the Darth Vader one here instead. So I could do lightsaber and lightsaber. And then let's see, go back over here to this is the fart and tacos next. And so we put the fart one here and change the sound to be the fart sound. Where's that? There it is. And what was the other one next to it? So we go here, and this is the bell, and this is the Taco Bell sound. And then the last two here, I think this one right here is the mystery one. And it actually plays, as you might guess, it plays a Rickroll. So if somebody clicks that, they get Rickrolled. Anyway, so it's fairly straightforward. It's an okay way to code. But when you get to more complicated code, you're going to find that this doesn't work very well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our projects, and we're going to click Save Project, make sure that gets saved. And then we're going to take it, and we're going to say, Save Project As. And this time, we're going to come over here, we're going to change this name to Sound Effects Panel Better, and say OK. And we're going to change this quite a bit.